Well, it's been something we've been working on for quite a while. I've had a lot of great experiences in my life. I've had a lot of ups and downs, but I tell you what, it's been an unbelievable two careers. My arm wrestling career, then my wrestling career. Growing up as a young guy, and I just want to get my story out there. And it's a great book, and it's very entertaining, and I'm super, super proud of it. And we're really it's going to be great.
I love it, strong style, because obviously that tells a lot about your history with Japan and that strong style, so to speak, that they have. But it kind of fits you perfectly in that whole title. So can you just talk about, the experience of the book? How did this whole thing come about? Because 30 years in the wrestling business, so to speak, and then obviously the arm wrestling career. But how did this book come about?
Well, my wife was the one that really wanted me to do this, and I remember she would go to Japan with me quite often. It was me, Jeff Farmer, NWO Sting, and her. We're walking down the street one night, come back from a restaurant. She says, it's starting to we need to start working on this book. And I said, I don't know. I mean, I was kind of apprehensive about it. And lo and behold, we started, pursuing it. We started working on it, and we got a ghostwriter named Alan Randis, who was a huge fan of mine. And chronologically, he has everything I've ever done in Japan in order. Interviews, matches. And so we hooked up with him, and we've been working on it since 2011, and we made it. It's been a long, tough process. I'm not an author. I'm a pro wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that we've worked on, and it's been tough. But it's a great story, and I'm so proud of it. It's unbelievable.
And that's amazing that he has your whole history in Japan, because if anybody knows anything about your career, you've had a lot of tours in Japan.
You see, Adam, when the www.com stuff first came out, all of our wives and everything would sell your merchandise on the web, and he would translate articles from Japan and send them to my wife, and because she ran my website, and so they got to be friends, because it was really cool, because this guy was. Adam's just, he's a professor, and he's a very intelligent man. The time he was doing all this, I was still wrestling mainly in Japan. He was just a kid. He was in his early teens. Years on later, we finally, when she said she messaged Adam, says, Scott's getting ready to do his book. We really want you to write. And he said it'd be an honor. And when I found out how young he was and following me like that, and he would watch all this with his grandfather, and it just all fell together. I'm so fortunate. I've been fortunate in the business end of the deal. I started when I was 30 almost, and the doors opened up for me. I've always said I've had a lot of great opportunities. And Hawk would tell me, he says, "Yeah, but you walked through the door. You get an opportunity, you took it, because I just feel fortunate, with, New Japan taking me under the wing, and then Eric with WCW. It was just I've had good opportunities, and thankfully I took advantage of them.
Oh, boy, did you ever. And, when you kind of came into the wrestling business from arm wrestling, you kind of did have a name for yourself, and you kind of built yourself up. And I think a lot of people probably remember not only you winning 30-plus arm wrestling championships, but I think they probably remember Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, that's the big one there. That's the biggest tournament ever, most legendary tournament in our sport. And I stepped away from arm wrestling for 2 years just to train for that tournament. And when I mean train, I went to work. And that was my focus. It didn't matter. I was going to take that tournament, and I was going to, Cleve Dean was a nemesis, man. This dude's a monster. 6'8", 6'9", 640 pounds. And he, nobody beat him yet. And, I was getting tired of getting beaten by him. He beat me 5 times for that day. And went to work, and we did it. That was the biggest tournament. And unfortunately, I look back right now. I loved arm wrestling. When pro wrestling knocked on my door, and I said, well, it's time to get a career going, I left. When I left, there was nobody close. I mean, I've just dominated the sport, and I don't regret it, but I wish that over the years I didn't sustain the injuries that I did, because I'd love to go back now, because I still, inside in my head, I want to be that guy. But, we just get torn apart in the ring over that many years, and it's just, you can't, it's just hard to get back to where you were.